Hey, good evening. My name is Nick Lutens. I'm the director of Breakwater Performing Arts, and today I'm here to talk to you about efficient and effective use of a metronome in rehearsal. First, I want to start talking about the tools that you're going to need to effectively run a rehearsal. Now, this could be for indoor percussion, like we do, or for outdoor marching band. The first thing that I want to show you is the good old trusty that everyone has, a mega box. If you don't have one of these, it's easily the most effective tool for pushing out sound to the group. Perfect for metronome. We set this up with a very small device. You get this on Amazon. It's a Bluetooth for us. Our Megabox does not have built-in Bluetooth, and I will warn you that the built-in Bluetooth in Megabox is typically not that reliable. We pick up these really cheap. I think they're about 40 bucks on Amazon, and we're able to sync at least one device at a time, sometimes multiple, depending on which receiver we're using. And then we have an 1/8 inch to a 1/4 inch that plugs into our Megabox as our primary source. And we always want to use that. The second thing that we find really important is to have redundancy. So when we're actually out on the floor, we want to make sure that if this dies, if for whatever reason power's not plugged in, or if this Bluetooth dies, we always have a phone backup Bluetooth to a large speaker. In this case, we're using a Monster. This one puts out enough sound for our ensemble. On a marching band field, it probably wouldn't. You'd probably want another Megabox or a larger speaker, something that you could use just for that redundancy. You will find that technology is technology and it fails. And so we want to make sure that we're not losing time, we're not losing reps to it. So we always have that backup redundancy set in place. The things that we use to power them at, good old fashioned Dr. Beat 88. If you have a 90, that's great. We have both laying around. I like the 90s a little bit better because we can program them. We like having those. The downside of the Dr. Beat is we're going to have a hard cord going from the Dr. Beat to the Megabox or the Dr. Beat to the Monster, and someone has to be back here starting and stopping. It's not ideal, but we do like using the Dr. Beat. What we prefer, and we use all the time, is on our cell phones, Tonal Energy is probably the best metronome app that you'll ever find. We actually create a program for our show, so we can actually put in the Met, hey, I want to start at C. And those tempos are already there, your tempo changes are already there, it can excel, it can DHL, it can do a lot of cool things for it. We have it on every staff member's phone. As a director, I make sure that the staff members have it. If they need me to, I'm happy to pay and reimburse them for having it on their phone because it's that good. It is our standard, and we use it all the time. It's always available. Okay, those are the tools that we use for the job. This is extremely rudimentary and it's extremely cheap. So as important as having the right tools is using the tools correctly. So some of the things that we do here at Breakwater are, one, we always make sure that we're using the metronome as a tool and not a crutch. We want to make sure that we're not listening to that met, and then when it's out, we're not paying attention. The ways that we do that, so that we understand that pulse comes from inside, it comes from an internal drive rather than an external box, is we start to reduce the amount that we're using the metronome. We want to vary that up. So we're going to start by, right now it's early season, we have that on every quarter note for us. As the season progresses, we might start dropping the met in. We'll give 8 in your in, and then we'll only have the met strike on beats 1 and beats 3. We might take that later to just beat 1, just the downbeat of every bar. So you have that check, that mental check. The other thing that we start to do is identify on the floor where our pulse is going to come from. It's not going to be the metronome for very long. We start looking at members, where they are farthest back on the floor, and the most articulate sound that we can look for to find time. So we'll, for example, say, hey, snare 2 on side A is the farthest person back. Whoever that person is, we'll make sure that, hey, for this bar, you want to listen back and make sure that you can find tempo in this person. The other thing that we do is we want to make sure that we're using the met effectively and not wasting reps. So with our ensemble, we start with an 8 in your in every single time. We never change that. But in addition, we give some commands prior. So the first one you'll hear is stand by. And when we say stand by, it means that it's time for members to be quiet, it's time for staff to stop talking, and then who's ever leading the rehearsal, whether it's a visual coordinator, a battery coordinator, or myself, we will give instructions. And we make sure that when we say stand by, those instructions are extremely specific, right? So we'll say, stand by, we're gonna start in -1, and we're gonna go A to C. A to C in -1. Right, we're giving those instructions, we know that it's quiet, we know that everyone heard them. To emphasize that everyone heard them and make sure we're all on the same page, when we say set, our members will repeat that starting chunk. So we'll say A to C, this is A to C in -1, set. And as soon as we say set, the members will respond by getting in -1 and saying A, yelling out that instruction so we all know that we're on the same page. That way when we start the rep, we know everyone's on the same page, everyone knows exactly where it starts, and it's reinforced on the floor. It makes it so we never lose a rep. I hope that this has been helpful, not just having the tools, but understanding how the metronome is used in rehearsal. This is just how we do it. There's 100 different ways to do this. I'm sure they're all great, but we want to make sure that we're giving you the most efficient advice. I hope you can use some of this with your programs.